Hey everyone, welcome back to the Midwest Stitches YouTube channel. My name is Danielle and this is my channel all about my crafting adventures. Today is April 25th, Thursday, April 25th, and I tell you what, April has been a crazy month the last couple weeks. It's been a little bit stressful. I haven't got as much making done as you'll see here in a minute, but I'm hoping for a better May. And yeah, let's just get into all of it. You can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches or on my website at midweststitches.com or on Ravelry. You can find all my projects at Midwest Stitches. So we'll do the life stuff first because that obviously impacted my crafting over the last couple weeks, which is why I haven't been able to carve out the time to come on here and update you guys a little sooner. So after my last episode, probably a few days after that, no joke, we discovered that the shower up here in this loft area, there's a shower right here behind this wall, a bathroom, it was leaking into the ceiling of our garage because this is above our garage. And so I've been planning out and researching like crazy over the last like 3 weeks how I wanted to do the remodel, what materials I wanted to use. It's been a lot. A lot. I've spent most of my time doing that as opposed to any kind of crafting for the most part. And I mean, just to give you guys a little backstory, I pretty much have hated the way this bathroom was since we moved in here almost 4 years ago. The tile on the floor of the bathroom is the same as the tile on the shower walls, and it's just awful. It's got all these grooves in it. It's grouted. I hate grout, and so I've been looking for alternatives on how to make it look nice without any of that. And I'm just looking in the viewfinder. Side note, if you see kind of the light shifting, it is, I have some lights on, and then of course it's a little shadowy because it's cold and rainy and really kind of dreary outside, so it's kind of like in and out, in and out. So we're having perfect knitting and crochet weather here today. So anyway, back to the bathroom. So I've been researching how I wanted to do that and how much it was going to cost, and, you know, trying to find the most budget-friendly way to do that without it looking cheap. And so just, you know, looking and looking and looking, and I finally found, you know, the style that I wanted, blah, 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 and all of the stuff. And so it has now begun. The materials have been ordered, or at least some of them, to start it. And so I think the demo part of the bathroom will start probably this weekend. And I won't have because this is the bathroom that I use the majority of the time for like my stuff, if you will. I know that sounds I'm not trying to be braggy. I don't know what's the right word. You know, that we have a few bathrooms in our house, so we basically each get to have our own to kind of use for our getting ready time. But I won't have my bathroom back until probably June, maybe July, just because of the things and the way that we wanted to do it requires a few special orders of stuff, and there's like, you have to do it in certain steps before like certain things can get installed. Like the glass basically for the shower has to be the last thing that gets installed because you can't order it or buy it or have it specially made until you have the walls and everything up to get the correct measurements, blah, blah, blah. This is why people pay other people to do this if you can afford it. If you're wondering, this is why it costs so much to have somebody come out and do a bathroom remodel. It is expensive in materials, even if you're going a more affordable route, and it's labor intensive. So needless to say, I have finally gotten some crafting time in, and thank you, Lord, for that, because I needed something to just kind of de-stress and take my mind off of it and just, just zone out. So that's kind of the backstory, life stuff going on around here. That's made the last few weeks interesting. So with all of that out of the way, you'll kind of see the little bits of progress that I've made on a few things, and that's why it's minimal. I mean, it's kind of always minimal around here with my making, because I like to keep it minimal on projects, but I really thought I'd be further along with my projects, and that basket of yarn I showed the last time, I really thought I would have, at least another pair or two done out of that by then, and that is not the case. So I haven't even touched that yarn yet. So let's get into the projects I do have to show you. I have 2 finished pairs of socks to show you. At least I have that much. Okay, so the first pair, I just finished the second one yesterday. I really kind of powered through and was like, I want to get these done. They've been on the needles since March 13th, I believe. So they are my Celtic Fairy socks. And this yarn is from Yarnable, called Celtic Fairy. And I still am so pleased with how each of them have a kind of a self-striping effect. I love it. And for these, I did a shadow wrap heel. And for this shadow wrap heel, if you're curious, I use the tutorial for this particular method from the Chili Dog on YouTube. It is her modified, I think that's what the title of the video is, Modified Shadow Wrap Short Row Heel. And it's so good. If you've ever tried the shadow wrap heel and you didn't really like it, maybe it was just the way that it turned out wasn't what you were looking for, which was the case for me when I tried this a couple of years ago. I didn't care for the triplet stitches. So you do twin stitches on the first half of the heel, you do triplet stitches on the second half of the heel to form it. And the triplet stitches were just really hard for me to get my needle in all of them without them falling off. And so when I saw this video a while back, like a year ago, I thought that is such an awesome concept. You do basically 2 plain rounds in between, and then you just use twin stitches the whole time, twin stitch knit and twin stitch purl to form it. And it gives so much of a cleaner look to the heel, to the stitches and the inside. I noticed with this pair, which I didn't look at the last pair that I did, the ridge where the ridge here where the heel is formed from the twin and triple or twin stitch purl and twin stitch knit, it's much smoother because you have those 2 rounds in between. It really separates the stitches, so you still have kind of a ridge there, but it's a lot smoother. If you've done the traditional shadow wrap heel, there is a very noticeable ridge there. And while that doesn't bother some people, and I'm not really bothered by that either on my foot, and these are not for me, by the way, I wanted something simpler and easier to execute for me, and this was definitely it. And this is the second time that I've tried this, and I really love how it turned out. I think it looks very smooth and beautiful. It fits very nice too. I tried these on my feet because these are just a tiny bit shorter, or they're a tiny bit longer than my foot. So I was able to try at least the heel portion on while I was knitting it just to see how it fit my foot. And it fits really nice. And the heel goes pretty quick. I think I can do this, start the heel and finish it in probably about half an hour or so. It goes pretty quick. So another thing, not to drone on about this too long, but for these, I use that tutorial, but I also altered how you do the shadow wrap heel. Normally you knit all the way to the very last stitch on that second needle. You do your twin stitch, you purl back, blah, 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 and you do that with the you have twin stitches on either side at the end and beginning of each needle. Well, I found in previous ones that I've done that when you go back to knit in the round, it really leaves a terrible gap. And for me, it was mostly because when you do that twin stitch and twin stitch purl on either side of the needle, and you're just holding that one on there, it really stretches and elongates the yarn underneath. And I don't really know how to avoid that. I don't even know that you can. And so what I did was I played around on this one, and I did 10 stitches in the middle. So 10 stitches here across the heel. And then I just whacked myself in the face. On each of these here on the sides, I did 10 instead of 11. So I have 32. This is a 64 stitch. So I have 32. And I left one stitch unworked on each side. So instead of knitting to the last stitch, I knit to the second to last stitch, twinned the second to last one, and did the same on the other side, back and forth, back and forth. And so that having that extra stitch there on the end of each needle that was unworked, and the 2 additional rounds that you do in between each half of the heel, I really think helped to eliminate any of holes or gaps or just unsightliness. So I'll show you a close-up. It's kind of hard with this dark yarn, but here's the edge of the heel. It's very nice here, and there's maybe a little bit here, but it's really not bad at all. So anyway, if you're looking for a new method to try out, just play around with the heel numbers. You don't have to follow exactly what they say, where you have to do it in thirds. I mean, mine was kind of in thirds, but you can definitely play around with that. So don't be afraid to try new things when it comes to that stuff. My second finished object are these socks, these shorties for me. And this is Hints of Spring from Stitchin' with Yarn. And look at those beautiful colors. They're getting that's a little better. Isn't that pretty? So for these, my socks, the last pair and this pair, this is knit on 2mm needles, 64 stitches. This is my shorty recipe where I do 8 rounds for the cuff, 4 rounds for the leg, and a heel flap and gusset. And for these, I had a 50-gram skein. And this is a 75, there's her label. This is a 75-25 blend. However, it's a little bit of a thicker, or more plump, I should say, blend. At least that's how it, felt to me. And I had 50 grams of it. And this is all I had left. This is less than a gram of yarn, because I weighed it. And normally with my shorty socks, I usually have about 4 to 5 grams left. So that definitely told me that this was a little bit of a thicker 75-25. So I was playing a little bit of yarn chicken on the second sock. It was getting down to the last little bit, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish the toe on this one. But I did. I managed it, and now I have a tiny little scrap to put in my scrap bag. So there's those. Those are my 2 finished objects. Very happy that I got these done in the month of April. Okay. So I wanted to update you on a finished object from last time, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. So if you recall, I showed you that I made myself a new purse. Well, I only got to use that purse once, and this is why. The zipper tab broke off after the first day. I used this one day. One day I got to use this before this tab broke off. And if you look really close, there you go. You can see it's not fixable at all. Like, it completely broke off, where I couldn't even maybe use pliers to put the tab back on. So, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to cut this apart and reclaim some of the hardware and some of the fabric and just make something different. I have a new pattern that I bought, and yeah, that was really sad and disappointing, because that is, if the back zipper had broken, it would have been different, because I don't really need to put stuff in there, this back zipper. But the top zipper where my wallet and my phone and everything goes, I kind of need that to work. And this is very sharp now that it's broken. So it's not even something where I could just like use my finger and try to, you know, just keep using it. So that was disappointing. Oh well, we'll move on. Okay, so works in progress. I'm going to update you on my hat. I am so close to being done with this. My goal is to finish it before the end of the month. And currently, here's where we are. This is my Musselburgh hat. This is the Scarlet colorway from Kimber's Cozy Creations. And I measured this last night because I have been working on it since I finished the socks. I think I'm about 15, maybe a little bit more than 15 inches right now. And I have to knit to 20 3/4 inch before I can start the decreases. So I'm hoping to just work on this solely until I have it done. I'm not gonna cast on any socks yet until I get that done, because I know if I cast on socks, I will want to work on those and not the hat. And the hat is so close to being done. It's like within my reach and I can feel it. And I really want to just take that project off of my list of things to do. My other work in progress, my crochet granny blanket, I just started adding in the next skein last night, so I don't have very much to show, and it's downstairs. So I'll update you on that the next time. Hopefully I will have added in the 2 skeins I wanted for this month and be working on the next 2 that will complete the blanket. So hopefully we'll get there. I guess this is kind of, I don't know if I want to consider this a finished object because I don't have it completely done, but we'll consider this a work in progress. Okay, so I made some little guys. I'll show these individually, but I made these little guys. So I made these little flowers out of some DK yarn, some clouds with raindrops. I have to block these. None of these have been blocked. And some suns. So I'm making a garland, if you didn't kind of guess that already. This is going to be an April-May garland. I need to string these together and block the pieces and hang it up. I have a garland, a crochet garland, for pretty much every like season, some holiday specific ones. But I was kind of missing the spring and summer ones from my collection because I hang them across our like faux fireplace in our living room, entertainment center, just to kind of have as a decoration. I'm not really a decorator. If you're new here, I've talked about this before. I don't really like decorating for things. I have a few decorations, but I don't change out pictures and you know, like seasonal decor all the time. I have a friend that does that, and I'm so jealous because her house always looks so cute, but I just don't have the patience for that. And I don't want to spend the money on it. So whenever I need that boost of, you know, feel good decorating mojo, I just go to her house. So these are perfect for me. It just gives a little something seasonal in our house, and that is perfectly okay with me. So anyway, this is an April-May one. You know, April showers bring May flowers. So this will be kind of an April-May one. And then I have yarn in this bag with a crochet hook. If you can see, these are all red, white, and blue. So obviously they will be, you know, US themed, American themed, for like summer, June, July, August, I think is when I'll keep this up. In there, I found a pattern for some crochet, like granny stars. I think that's what it's called. I'll show them when I get them done. But I'm just going to make a bunch in each of these colors and string them together. And that will be kind of my summer themed garland for our living room. And if you saw this bag, I've never shown this before. I made this for myself last summer. Isn't that so cute? all these little like summer themed things, little Coke bottles, a grill. I love that. And then the inside fabric is this cute stars kind of motif. And right here, it's hard to show this on camera, but it does have, where is it? Right here, see these silver bits? There's little metallic bits throughout. Anyway, I will have 2 of these in my shop next month. I had a little bit of this fabric left, and I made 2 of this size bag. This is my original snap size bag, which is just a little bit smaller than the ones I'm currently making and selling. So it's just a little bit tinier for like a 50-gram set or like some scrappies. So yeah, so if you like these, there will be 2 that look just like this. Snap with this beautiful blue. Okay. My final work in progress is something brand new. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen the picture I posted of this, and it was just a fun idea I came up with one day, and just went for it because I just needed something. This was like in the middle of the research, and I needed something just brand new and fresh, you know, to take my mind away from the bathroom stuff. So I started a new crochet project, and it's kind of wrinkly, but here it is. Look at this flower. Is that not so cute? Okay, here's a close-up for you. So as you can see, these are hexagons, crochet hexagons, and these are granny hexagons. These are not the hexagons that you've probably seen people doing right now, whether they're big or little. Those have, I think, puff stitches in the middle, or they're closed granny square style, and I did not care for those. I wanted something that was kind of the more like open, traditional granny square style. So these, if you can see, the white might be better. Yeah, they're more of just the granny clusters. And this I crocheted from a pattern I found online. If you're interested, I will link it down below on how to do this. And I used just fingering weight yarn for this. This was a mini I had with a plain white. And I used a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook for this. And I used a tutorial I found online on how to join the hexagons, because this is not like the method I've seen elsewhere. It's a little bit cleaner, more minimal lines, and it's flat basically on both sides. There's a little bit of a ridge on the front, but nothing terrible. And this is technically the back, but I still think this looks pretty too, where it's joined here. You can see the joins. So I love this. And I have pulled out, I went through my yarn stash, and I put in a bag all of these minis just from various sock sets or mini skein sets that I had to put into this to make flowers. So I'm calling this my English paper piecing inspired crochet blanket. That's my name for it. My plan is to make a bunch of these flowers, and then I will have a background color that joins them. It'll just be one round for the flowers and not 2, and then a joining color, but that's just the way I wanted to do it. So you'll see this here and there. I can't work on this too much because I went a little crazy working on this over a weekend, and I hurt my arm and my wrist. I was really sore. There was lots of icing, lots of using the massage gun thing that we have on because like my forearm here was hurting so bad. Yeah, I had to take a few days off from doing anything before I could like knit or crochet anything else. So that was a mistake on my part. I should know better. What else about this? I have not decided on the background color. I'm thinking of cream color. I mean, the colors are going to be kind of all over the place. and just there's gonna be no theme, if you will, like of certain kinds of colors for the flowers. It's just gonna be whatever I have. And each of these hexagons took me about 2.5 grams to make. So this one, I had like this much yarn left because it wasn't quite a 20-gram mini. So if you're going to do something like this and you have the same, gauge as me or whatever, and use the same crochet hook, each flower, 6 hexagons for the flower, took me about 15 or 16 grams. So the bag I showed you is filled with 20-gram minis that I had no idea what to do with. And I think this will be perfect for that, to make a blanket. A really cute, fun, unique blanket. And what else? What else do I want to say about that? I wove in all the ends on this already, but my advice is if you do something like this, weave them in one hexie at a time. Do not try to do them all with all of the ends flopping all over the place, because each hexie will have 2 ends for you to weave in. And when you start joining them together, it gets a little cumbersome to have all those ends flopping around while you're trying to join them, because you crochet join them together. I did not hand sew them. They're crocheted. Join as you go. So that's my advice. Do a hexie, weave in the ends, join another hexie. Yeah, I love the way this looked. This turned out exactly how I had envisioned, and I love when that happens. So my plan is to make a bunch of flowers. My lights just went out. Oops. My plan is to make a bunch of these flowers and then pick a joining color. I'm thinking of like a light tan kind of a color for them instead of like a white or a cream. I want something, like a tan or a light tan or something like that. I think that will look nice and it will go with everything. But yeah, I'm probably going to make a bunch of these flowers and then make the hexagons that join them together. We'll see. I think that's, in my mind, that's the easiest way to do it, because you have to, crochet them and join them together on that last round. Shop news. I talked about this last time, and I have some new products that will be in the shop by the time you see this. We have new bags in the shop. Just a small update. This is what I will have available, this many. And I will show you the prints. So I had some bags with the similar fabric, with the same fabric a couple of years ago, but I made them with a contrast bottom. But this time it's just a solid. So I'm calling these Wildflowers, and we've got obviously this light colored one, and then we have a gray background, a darker colored one. So just a little bit of a different feel. And they all have this kind of purpley speckled paint. That's what I'm calling it, or what it looks like to me. Splatter paint fabric for the inside. And they're all drawstring. So I've got, I have 2 in the small size in this color. And I have 3 in the small size in this gray color. And then I will have some medium ones. So I'll have 3 medium. So if you need a comparison of sizes, there's my small next to my medium. So you get it's a little bit taller, a little bit wider, of course. So 3 in that color. And then there will be 3 as well in the gray, in medium. So those will be up on my website when you see this. So if you're interested, head on over and check those out. And I also will have 5 needle cozies with just the white print. I didn't have any of the gray left. So there's 5 of these. And I had a different scrap fabric, some scraps left over. So the inside is actually this purple polka dot. But I still think it looks really pretty. So if you need a needle cozy for Magic Loop, I don't know if these would work for DPNs. I don't think they're long enough, but I use mine for Magic Loop all the time when I stuff my project down in a bag because I'm terrified of the needles falling off, because I am awful at picking up stitches when they like accidentally come off the needle. It never works for me. I just have the worst time with it. So try to avoid that as much as possible. I think that's all. I think that's all I have to share with you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And hopefully I will see you guys a lot sooner than this time around. Until then, guys, take care. Bye.